Lindsey's been talking about it all morning in news. We are seeing a record-setting number of cases of an aggressive form of the strep bacteria. As of January 9th, there have been 4,600 cases of invasive group A strep. That's a 40% increase since the last peak we saw in 2019. So this kind of strep can have serious outcomes. It can lead to pneumonia, toxic shock syndrome, even amputations, and as we've learned, it can also be fatal. For more, we are joined this morning by Dr. Anne-Marie Mediwake, pediatrician and infectious disease specialist. Welcome back to your morning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, how do you know if you're dealing with a regular case of strep or with this strep A strain?
So regular strep causes things like strep throat, or it can cause infections of the skin, something we call impetigo, or even cellulitis. That's something that is treatable, like strep throat. Someone comes in with a sore throat, fever, may have headache, abdominal pain. You look in the throat, there are certain like pus at the back of the throat, etc. So what happens is that when the strep goes into the body, into sites that are normally sterile, then it becomes invasive. That's by definition invasive strep. So that can cause infections of the deeper tissue. It can go into the bloodstream and cause toxic shock. It can go basically anywhere, into the lungs, into the brain, etc. The thing that I think is really important to know is even though the numbers have increased, the risk is still rare. And so I think a lot of parents are panicking, and I think that we're not really adding to mental health by saying that this is, a terrible thing that's going to happen and making parents really worry.
Yeah, so it's good to do interviews like this so we can get information out there to help ease some of that concern. We do know, and part of the reason for the concern is that this strain has killed 48 people in Ontario alone since October the 6th. And 6 of those deaths, we know, are kids under the age of 10. And I think that's where the big concern for families comes in. Why are we seeing a spike now?
Well, there's a lot of different reasons. I mean, it could be a little bit more virulent strain, but strep often is on the skin or in the throat or even in the genital area, and something happens where that strep invades the body. So one of the major risks is really viral infection. So you have strep in your throat, or you get strep throat, and you have influenza, COVID, RSV, or some of the other viruses, and that allows the strep to invade. Or you have something on the skin, a cut, or chickenpox, or something on the skin, and that allows the strep to invade. And so I think we're seeing a lot more respiratory viruses, and so that may be one of the reasons why we're seeing the spike. But these kinds of infections, they come and go, they come in waves and things peak. But there's probably lots of different reasons.
And no vaccine, I understand.
There's no vaccine for strep, but you can get the COVID vaccine, influenza vaccine, again, to reduce the risk of having a viral infection that may increase the risk of strep becoming invasive.
What should you do if you or a loved one you suspect has strep?
If it's a strep throat or a strep skin infection, you should see a healthcare practitioner, and they should treat it. If it is strep, they can do rapid tests or cultures, and they could look at the symptoms and see, is this potentially consistent with strep? And with antibiotics, penicillin kind of antibiotic, within 48 hours, the symptoms start improving and you're less infectious. So the treatment of strep prevents that, can reduce the risk of it becoming invasive, but also can prevent the spread of strep to other people.
We mentioned off the top, this form of strep has also led to cases of amputations in young people. Why is that?
So it can cause something called necrotizing fasciitis. The term is, we call it flesh-eating disease. And it's a very serious infection where it's the deeper tissues, and that can lead to, we call necrosis or dying of the tissue, and so that can lead to amputations. Again, that is extremely rare. And so we don't want parents to panic thinking, oh, kid really actually has a cold, but could have flesh-eating disease and that. So I think we need to de-escalate this, but it can cause amputations.
Well, part of de-escalating it is having conversations like this. Dr. Banerjee, thanks for coming on today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.